I'm Kathleen Henderson from Roots and Boots, and in this video I'm going to show you our tomato trellises that we make from T-posts and cattle panels. It's currently midwinter, coming up on late winter and early spring. You can see our garden, our large in-ground garden that we call the far garden, is resting. Such a warm day today that my children are riding dirt bikes, which you might hear in the background of this video, and four-wheelers. This is probably not the best timing for me to try to record a video with all of the ATV noise in the background, but I did want to get this up for you in time for your garden plans this year. And this is my absolute favorite way to grow tomatoes. I grow indeterminate varieties, which means they are vining, they climb quite a ways, and they need a good strong support, or else they will just vine and sprawl all over the ground, which is kind of a mess to try to maintain and to harvest. So these are the tomato trellises from last year. I do try to rotate my crops, which means we're often removing these trellises in the spring and relocating them to different rows so I can rotate the tomatoes and not plant them in the same rows every year. But this is really simple. It's 3 T-posts per panel, unless it's a short panel. We do have a few short panels that we have randomly cut for different reasons, but here is a full-length panel. A full-length cattle panel is 16 feet, and they are 4 feet high, incidentally. I like to suspend mine about 18 inches from the ground. So again, you need 3 T-posts, 1 cattle panel, and then zip ties. We use regular plastic zip ties to attach the panels to the T-post. We have found that the easiest way to determine the proper placement of each T-post is to lay the cattle panel down exactly where we are going to put it up. And then we actually bring in the 3 T-posts and lay them on the ground where they are going to be pounded in. We are not super precise, and we don't really do any measuring. We just kind of eyeball everything. So our rows are never perfectly straight, but they are good enough and they get the job done. We like 7-foot or 7.5-foot T-posts for this purpose. So here is how we attach the cattle panel to the T-posts. This one is probably not the best example because it somehow got a little bent. It's not completely straight, but you can still get the idea. It is a 2-person job to hold up the panel. The panel is heavier than you might think. And we like to put 3 zip ties or 3 to 4 zip ties on each post. What we're using right now are 11-inch zip ties. In my opinion, that's a little bit overkill. You wouldn't need to use such a long zip tie, but we're just working with what we have on hand. So you do need one person to help support the panel while the other person attaches the zip ties. And that is how to make your own tomato trellises from cattle panels, T-posts, and zip ties. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to my Roots and Boots YouTube channel for more homesteading, homeschooling, home-based content here on YouTube.